I know. A little old school. It's all right. Dr. Dia is in the house. D for determined. I for intelligent. A for America. I thought this would be a fun way to start the video, guys. I only have a few minutes. Get a little bit of my tea, guys. A little bit of my tea. Tea time. Sipping tea with D. I'm just going to talk about how to detox your life a little bit. Some fun music kind of helps, guys. Okay. Maybe a little bit of that. Learn a little bit of some foraging, guys. Some herbs. Good for you. I guess I'll put this off. So I only have a few minutes. I wasn't going to do a live, guys. Whoever's in the chat is in the chat. You can check me out on Kadesh Gardens, on Facebook. Hello, dear. Hello. I'm going to put a new title probably, right? It's going to be like Detox Your Life. So I like to show like the different things that I do and how I learn how to heal ourselves too. I was trying to find the book of Jubilees where Noah was given the knowledge of the herbs to pass down. So that's incredibly important too, and ways to fight infection. Because I was watching a lot of pharmaceutical ads, you know, like when I first came on, I was known as, thank you, sweetheart, I was known as Noble Scribe. So I don't want to like retire that name. So Dia Dash came thereafter because they took down my whole channel for talking about, you know, sharing the books that I have with you guys, anything relevant. Because, you know, I just moved and all. So I'm still like unloading books, right? So I found another little number. So I like to share because you guys think that I'm just pulling this stuff out of the air, and I don't. This was another great book I found finally. And yeah, girl, it takes time and energy, right? This one was a really good one too. Behold a pale horse. So yeah, some of us, you know, we come across so scary. It's because our soul is so much older than it sounds. Like people think, what do you, I'm like, yeah, I'm old. I'm over 100. Okay, if you want to, because the stuff that we talk about is something maybe our grandmothers or great grandmothers used to be about. I have people in my family who used to be midwives. You know, in the modern era, they forget, like, hey, you know, it could have skipped a generation. And, you know, so at first people were like, oh, that's weird. But now more and more people are talking about it, and it helps so much with your health. So I'm like, detoxing physically, detoxing emotionally, especially if you're around toxic situations. I was almost just going to do a video on signs of a toxic environment professionally and personally, right? And being stifled about certain topics. That's why it's better just to conserve your energy, not worry, you know, about trying to like share little nuggets. I have my own forum. I have my own little brands. I have my Dia Dash Taco Stash, which I should go and get, right? To show you guys too, if you guys want to order some, it's all naturally sourced spices to make my own blends. I was just going to show you. Hold on. I still have a few packets left. I think I'm going to like updo my logo and have like maybe like a black diamond or something. I thought it was so cool just because of, you know, Dia and all and the prefix. But this is my Dia Dash Taco Stash, because when you look at a lot of taco, like, you know, I don't want to throw out names, but the main ones that you see at the stores, they'll have MSG. They'll mess with your head, you know. So I source all, like I get high quality spices. I got my paprika, and I actually add cumin, which is, and it's missing in a lot of actual packets. When you go to the store, you remember to put the MSG, but then, and then you wonder why people get headaches. They're feeling foul. They're not thinking correctly or whatnot. I'm just gonna put this here for now. But yeah, guys, if you want to order some, we can like endorse it a little bit. But right now it's hard to sell foodstuffs on like Etsy or whatever, so maybe I'll do an Instagram or whatever just for that. but you guys can cash at me, Diana-7, and $3, so for shipping, right? So maybe 5 or whatever, just to be able to ship it to you guys. So yeah, like $5, you give me your address, whatever, and sometimes I just give them out too, right? But that's also, it's part of the equation. Some people are like, oh, anytime you try to do like a Kickstarter or try to get other people involved, they get all like weird and stuff, and I'm like, even Moses in the Bible had to have people like take off their golden earrings and donate to the service of the Most High, right? It's kind of all the same. We're trying to get them off pharmakia. We're trying to get them off all of that artificial, sorcery, because that's where the word pharmakia came from. Pharmacy, pharmaceutical, it's all relative, right? But if you found that you're sick or whatever, sometimes some of the prescriptions, I mean, I've seen people, that's why people don't have a gauge. You'll look at someone maybe my age group or whatever, looking a little different, and it's like, yeah, because some people really believe in those pharmaceuticals, and it shows. It does something accelerated or whatever. I really believe in the power of just letting your body do its thing naturally, and like even getting overly stressed, being around certain situations. Sometimes you need to take those couple of days or a day, and or just reserve talking to whoever, because sometimes you think you're helping, and it goes in one ear out the other. So some people need to just learn on their own, and I refer them to my channel. I was thinking of just making business cards, and keep it low key if you want people to, because I meet people every day, all day, but I don't have time to stop and chat all the time. So I can refer them to my Patreon. We can do more how to, especially with what's going on too. It helps to have your own medical kit and have like your different herbs, may you get sick or whatever, right? So you're not like reliant on aspirin that can lead to stomach ulcers. Anytime I name some of the big brands, those are the ones who get in their feelings and try to strike me. So I'm like, oh, stand behind me, Satans, right? You don't scare me. I'm so over them. And I also tell them to their face, like they already know, they've probably been watching for a long time. And they're probably like, oh, that's the noble scribe one that she thinks she's hiding from us. Now she's Dash. Yeah, dash and deception all the way. So this is green tea, guys, and a little chamomile. And I sweeten it with some maple syrup instead of putting sugar, because maple syrup, if you didn't know, it's really great. It's sourced a lot out here too. Vermont and New Hampshire. It has a lot of antioxidants that you will not find anywhere else. So look up, I've already shared some data, some scientific articles. Like this stuff has been scientifically proven, but they're not gonna, pay for ads and all that. But just listen to the pharmaceutical ads. I mean, they're kind of telling you right in your face what it is, right? It's like this drug can, lessen the ability to fight an infection and death. I'm like, if you don't have an ability to fight infection, you're really like, you know what I'm saying? It's like going out to war with like no weapon, just your bare hands. Like, I don't know how far you're gonna go with that, right? So it's kind of like talking both sides of the mouth, and they're telling you what it is. But like when some of us see what it is and we're like, hey, we're just passing on what they're saying themselves, it's a huge issue. So that's why I like to show my books and the different plans. But this book by Robert Mendelsohn, he really goes into it in different topics. Even reading this book will probably get me flagged or whatever. The AHA and other church agencies, we go back to the Vatican and all that, do their best to keep the public from finding out what's going on. The privately funded, with the money you pay the hospitals, commission on professional and hospital activities, maintain a computer bank of information of what goes on in American hospitals, including comparable death rates for procedures, accidents, infections, and errors. Everything you've got to be afraid of in hospitals. Just try to take a peek at this information. The commission guards it with a vengeance the government would envy, for good reason. When explaining why the information is classified, commission and a American Health Association spokespeople will tell you that the information could be misinterpreted and could discourage the kind of analysis that leads to improvement. What they mean is the public would misinterpret hospital shortcomings as so dangerous that they wouldn't be caught dead in them. Who needs Halloween when it's every day in the American Horror Story known as the present tense? Um, so, of course, that would discourage improvement because they wouldn't be anything to improve. The hospitals would close. That's why you hear a lot of them in the news going out of business. And I've seen it myself how people are treated. People are actually even starved in these hospitals, given GMO food. Like, how is that going to help you improve? Thank you. Why don't you just call them hospices at this point? I'm sorry, but they're a little scary to me because I drove by one today and I was seeing this nurse walking this lady and she had like a blue helmet. I'm like, oh my God, did she get some kind of like brain surgery? Like, I'm good. You are not doing that to some of us. I'll just heal myself. Thank you. The body is self regenerating. I already teach my nephews that at like 5. Yes, please delete anything that's disrespectful. I appreciate it, dear. Yes, MSG, right? Because they probably support some of this madness, and some of their cohorts are gonna come on here like, "How dare you?" Like, who's the first doctors? And that word "doctor" too just means teacher. And we went into, I think it was Job chapter 13, physicians of no value, just trying to, extort people's bank accounts and overcharge them for things, right? And then at the end of it, be like, shrug, oh, I hope it takes, I hope it works, right? Like, come on now, right? And it's like, let's be clear, nothing new under the sun. And the first real physicians of value always did herbs. I mean, time and time again, you see all these amazing ancient remedies. The body hasn't changed, our biology hasn't changed much, right? Just the environment, right? And the point of view, and who's in power teaching you some of this stuff. It's like, let's look behind the curtain, shall we? In the Wizard of Oz, let's look at who's friends with who. You'd be surprised, but on camera, they're kind of playing this role for you all, right? Probably splitting the profits, but some of us try to do it just grassroots, whatever, if anybody donates, it goes back into the channel, and I also share it with others. I think it'd be good to get maybe, certain vouchers or a gift certificate for those, maybe like, hotels or supplies or whatever that are hurting. I mean, I'm just seeing so much, and especially in the colder parts too, right? I do my part. I'm busy, but this is still something that's always been near and dear to me. And on my Patreon, we'll go into it a little bit too, how to like move as an independent contractor, because we give so much of our talent and our inspiration to corporations who just try to like gobble it up. But just know that you are the talent. And if you cultivate that and you retain all the skills that you learn, you can parlay that into the next thing. And that's what I want to teach you guys to do too. You know what I mean? How to get an EIN. If you want to be a sole proprietor, how to get a DBA, right? I have my friend there. If you need help with credit reports, she puts up her information. I don't mind that as well, because we have different things we like to do. And us women, we, some of us just have these skills that, could really help others going through similar situations. So detoxing your life, your bad habits, that could be even with, having credit issues as well. Some people use shopping as therapy now, right? Everything, retail therapy. She'll help you detox and cure that retail therapy, ladies. And I do too. I try to help you be more savvy. We can go into like those type of videos too. I used to be like really all high end, but I've been just smarter, like invest in things that matter. And, you can feel like a million bucks without, squandering that much, basically, because, you just, when you look at the overhead and you look at, what it costs to make something and the retail, you realize, you know what I mean? I could do just as well too, doing some things on my own, right? A lot of you guys have talents. I also have a lot of seamstresses in my family who know how to make clothes, how to tailor them, and that right there is a great service. So making your own business cards and all that, that can totally like open doors. having your website on there as well too. So we'll go into that on my Patreon. I'll make digital downloadable videos where we can do step by step, guys. It'll be so cool. And that way, all the proceeds, just go back and to the true north. It's a ministry, and it's a trust, right? So we go into like how to set that up, and that's how you're supposed to move in America. So when people get all whatever, it's like, okay, what are you doing? You putting it into your own bank account? Is that what you're doing, right? Some of us actually want to make it where we can pass it down, and it's, what I mean, it's for the benefit of all, and there's like a broader mission statement. You know what I mean? For those who need it, those going through their own adversity too and stuff. And I give out education, information, and yeah, we're gonna do like, we can go through my survival backpack and see all the different stuff. How many of you guys are doing that too? Actually, where is my survival backpack? I was telling you guys, always have this book too in your survival kit. That way you can survive anywhere in the world. I think I showed you guys this before, but I have a lot of supplies. Make sure, guys, you like the video, especially since I'm sharing some of my tips. It's like, sipping tea with D. I usually do it to the end of my cup, and then I'm outie. Outie 500, as they say. I'm getting my car repaired, yet another part. Well, it's running like a dream. I got all new tires and stuff, so yeah. So having like medical supplies, guys, is really good. This helps you like dig in the ground if you had to use the bathroom in the woods. I told you guys I was into this for like a whole year. I had to cut down branches and stuff to make shelter. Supposed to get some. Yeah, man. Like, oh yeah, you're not into this stuff. Of course I am. I got my. Oh, can't show too much, right? It's like ready for anything, guys. Ponchos are really good, especially for those in Florida. You can sell. We can make care packages too. If you know anybody down there or in the South going through it, we can make our own care packages because I learned, there's the different stuff you would need in the event of an emergency. A cool axe to cut down branches. I know all this fit in here. In here it's just like medical supplies. Well, I got like way more, but I don't really got time. Life straw, compass. This compass was like almost $100. But yeah, like, money is just a way to like exchange for things that you really need. So some of us girls were like, oh, we'll splurge on a pair of shoes, but like if we had an emergency, right? So I try to have like an emergency kit in my car. If anything was to go wrong, I'd be ready. Have some flashlights, ladies. Like, what are you gonna do? Wait for a freaking whoever to show up? It could be the damn Grim Reaper. Family trust, exactly. Business trust. So we're definitely gonna do videos on that. Definitely. This was a cool little thing too. It breaks windows, and it's a flashlight as well. Atomic Bear. It's like a little light. I think I'm gonna get interrupted, guys. I might have to pause and redo this video another time. I'm getting interrupted. It's probably my neighbor. I'm always waiting to see like how long I have with you guys. Just because, yeah, I'm gonna go get a ride soon to go pick up my car. This is like a little light too, and this can break glass in the event you're in a situation where, God forbid, you go off the road, you go into water, right? We always watch these movies and stuff. You can break the window, can help the person get out of the car. So like having stuff like this in the car is really good, and it has an extra battery, and I think it's a pen too. Isn't that cool? So this can be like a little cool gift. And yeah, maybe we should like, if I can, if it ever gets to that, I get that many donations where people are really not feeling that generous sometimes, right? People think you are, but it's not even like that, right? Because you're not on demon time. So it's like, whatever, why should I, right? And I'm like, because it's like, I use it to help people. I guess you don't want to help others, but yeah, I put it good for good causes. And I could always pick out a subscriber or whatever and give them like a cool thing like this. You know what I mean? With some of the funds, and I also refer you to some of that stuff too, right? But yeah, that's why we can't build community on these YouTube spaces, because people have like their own preconceived notions, right? Exactly. But yeah, I'm gonna work on that website too that you mentioned. That was such a good idea. I'm definitely gonna do that, girl. But make sure you detox. It can be with herbs, guys. It can be with the bad information. That's why some of us try to share some of our good information with you guys, so you can kind of like, kind of get a different perspective, because you don't realize some of the stuff that you're around is so toxic, it becomes normal. You become desensitized, then you become callous. You don't care because you think, oh, that's just how it is. Well, that's just a group of people, right? They shouldn't have like this influence on like what the whole world is thinking, right? You can't let like the whole, a couple of people who have like this dark perspective just overshadow, right? So it's kind of like if there's enough of us that try to, kind of march to the same tune, that everyone's kind of spiritually sick in a way, and we do what we got to do too. Sometimes it can be nutritional. They say some mental illness has to do with the nutritional deficiency. If your niacin levels are too low, they say that can lead to schizophrenia. All this craziness, right? So B16 and all that. So we're like, okay, guys, at least if you get a couple of herbs in every day, some teas, a lot of them have vitamins and minerals that your body's probably missing, and you probably feel a lot better, especially since some of you guys, like me, like drinking coffee, right? So sometimes, even that caffeine business can not be too good. Yes. Oh, thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate it. Please do. Please do. I can use like more people, like, because I've had all of these amazing gems. I've been sitting on it, and even wherever I go, it's like my treasure. These have become my heirlooms, like, because I pick each piece. It could be the books, it can be the supplies, it can be whatever. This is part of your estate, right? So all these items are assets. So you're supposed to use your Federal Reserve notes, right? Yes, I can talk today. I'm just a little tired. I slept in. To exchange for things that are useful, that can make more, right? Kind of thing. If it has to be a tool, if it has to be a camera, you can be a photographer. It's peak foliage season out here, right? In Massachusetts. It's going to be gorgeous. I'm going to go away for a couple of days and take some pictures for you guys. And, just having that as a talent too, people will pay for even that service if you're good enough to take pictures or do wedding or family photos, right? So always have your business cards ready, and you detox whoever's like, being toxic in your life, and you're going to attract and have room for those who are more healthy, and that can lead you on the right path. Yes, I'm losing my voice per usual, talking too much. And any referral codes you have on those items, yes. So exactly. So maybe, who knows, we can be, let me get a sponsorship sometime from one of these companies. I wouldn't mind if they're like an honorable company and they're actually making things that people could use, right? Exactly. This is getting warm in here, guys. Yes, you like my shirt? TJ Maxx. I know people are going to think, oh my gosh, it's so. There are some shirts that I've paid over $100 for. And as you get older, it's like, you know what, there's a lot of great brands too that I can find in some of these stores, especially if it's in like really good locations, just like with the car. You can get yourself a freaking Mercedes, or you can get yourself, like I'm driving a Volkswagen. When I put a lot of TLC into it, so it's working amazing, and it gets me to A and B just the same. You would think, I paid so much more for it. I actually got it at a discount and just put some work into it, and she runs like a dream. I love it, right? She needed a pressure sensor. So yeah, exactly. So that's why some of us stay doing our side projects, because it's always just something, and I give you guys ways to like save money, have ideas. But yeah, I got this compass. Yep. And we all have that moral internal compass, right, guys? And we just try to share you, try to point you to your true north, to your true purpose. That's why I like that name. The North, right? There's a lot of like ancient stories about the North, or the North Pole, and it's also known as like your true purpose, right? And hopefully, the Most High, right? Is the you'd be like, obviously with all these people giving all this insight, it has to come from like an ultimate source. So a lot of us are just messengers. It's kind of like, I just pass it along because I feel like it was divine insight for me too, and I've been just so blessed to detox from my toxic background and environment, and it's been a godsend. So thank you so much, guys. Check me out on Kadesh Gardens. True North will do some videos on Patreon. I'm going to have some new merchandise. I'm going to spend today designing some cool sayings on some merch. I'm going to, that's a way to support this channel. You can get yourself a cool journal, a sweatshirt, notebook, you can get jogging pants, joggers, slides. I'm trying to think. Keychains. There's all kind of like cool stuff. Towels, pillows, even. So that all supports, and it's all part of like the same collective thing to try to work on what's important to you and detox from even your everyday environment if it's a little heavy, and focus on things that matter, that can help others, and that way you can leave a legacy, right? We're only here for so much time, but your work will live on. So do something that you're proud of, right? And always be ready for anything, right? I started here doing a lot of how-to videos, learning from a lot of different survivalists and different, yes, that's why I drink tea. Survivalist and all of that, and they've given me like so much insight. So I've had a bunch of notebooks that I can share with you guys, and different how-tos and stuff, and that's what we'll be doing on this channel. So make sure you like, subscribe, guys. Look how we've just been filling it up over time. This is like 10 years of work, right? So that's why I made my own private lane. That way, too, this is like Dia Dash Productions. I'm a producer, I'm a creator, I make a lot of cool stuff. So if you guys are looking for any of those samples, you can email me, dia-@yahoo.com, if you want some Dia Dash taco stash, all 100% natural sourced ingredients, okay? No MSG, so I'm trying to get that up and going too. And it's just hard to sell food items. Like you can sell like lotions and balms and all that, but when it comes to food items, maybe I'll do an Instagram just for that. And we do independent news, we do like everyday stuff, but there's other channels doing that too. So I try to do things that are practical, because we don't need to hear about every war, every this, every that. Sometimes it's like, what, like Shakespeare said, the world is a stage, so it's almost like, what, sometimes you got to take, a social media or all of that detox and just live in the now and what's real, and have like a couple of practical skills that you can share and replicate, right? So, I got that internal compass that always points me in the right direction when I'm veering off, right? So sometimes I come on here, and even when I'm tired, even when I'm doing the most, right? Even when it's exhausting, because, I talk for a living, and it becomes super exhausting. And it wears on you too. I'm like, oh, doctor, I gotta doctor myself, it seems like, right? And a lot of times I have. And so I do it to you too. But obviously, if you're in an emergency, if you break a bone, that's different. But to take, their course of action, and to know like their background, and that it is a religion in itself, and it's a belief system, as people want to think they're so scientific. Well, I beg to differ. Some of us can seem more scientific, right? When we talk about common sense. A lot of people talk about Dr. Sebi. I learned from Tim Morrow. Do you know Dr. Tim Morrow? He's since passed away, but he was so vibrant all up into his 80s. He was amazing. He talked about, the importance of detoxing, guys. Please check out his videos. I think his children still have a channel. He had, a saying, Common Sense University, right? So, yeah, we don't deal with any of you demonic supporters. Get the F out of here. Again, detoxing from that bullshit. You guys are nothing but walking tumors talking that shit. Keep it up. That's why I stay ready for you idiots. Well, thank you guys. Have a good day. When you're talking about real stuff, you're gonna get distractions one way or another. We ain't going for that. I gave you guys incredible references. I gave you guys books, sources. Now it's up to you to go out and get it. And please support the Cash App. We do give out great supplies. I buy books. I help those in need. Whatever we can do, get a voucher, get some gift cards, or inspire you to do it yourself for someone else. And of course, you're gonna have, your angels and demons. There's even books on that too, right? The Da Vinci Code, and then you wrote angels and demons. I'm like, we know. I've been fighting demons since the dawn of time, it seems, right? Some of us, it ain't nothing. Exactly. And how many verses did we see in the good book that says what? that herbs were for the healing of the nations. I was just watching an old episode of Family Feud at the mechanics waiting room, and one of the questions was like, oh, what is considered heirlooms or whatever, and the Bible came up, like silverware came up, pictures, all that kind of stuff, but the Bible is going to become that in this like new world order, right? So some of us are going to stand on it because some people think it's so antiquated. If anything, it's too future forward. It's so in the past, it's in the future, because the more you get into this stuff, the more they're going to see all the errors and how many people have died and been hurt over the course of the years, and they're going to see, oh shit, they were right back in the day the whole time. So look up Tim Morrow, Dr. Tim Morrow, Common Sense University. He was one of my great mentors, and RIP, and shout out to his family. Your father was an amazing legacy, and he's turned students like me, the Daniel daughters, like how you got Daniel's son and the Karate Kid, into future students, right? So I'm just so blessed to even have come across someone. I know it wasn't by accident, right? So I love you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Gotta go off to get to my car, and I'll talk to you. Bye. Bye.